Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, welcome back. So we were done with up to this, and we have also done some 2-3 questions of the exercise part. Now I'll just try to just finish this chapter today. So the next is care of eyes. Okay, so how are we supposed to take care of our eyes? Because eyes are very important, they are very delicate as well. So it is necessary that you take proper care of your eyes. Okay, it's very important that we should take care of our eyes. If there is any problem in our eyes, or we are facing some infection or some sort of any problem, then we should go to an eye specialist. Then eye specialist is a doctor that is specialized in this eye thing. So we should go and consult him, and we should have a regular checkup. And if he advise, we should use spectacles. That means the glasses, just like this, these glasses. Okay, that I'm also using. Okay, so the spectacles, they can vary from person to person. Like if you are myopic, that means you are not able to see the far objects clear. Okay, so he will give you an that type of lens, that will a concave lens. Okay, and if you are a hypermetropia, you have hypermetropia, that means you can't see the near objects, and he will give you concave lens, and just like that, convex lens, concave lens, double lens. Okay, so that will depend on what kind of problem we are facing. Okay, so too little or too much light is bad for eyes. So it's being said that if the light is very in the room or in anywhere where you are, then it's not good for our eyes. Okay, and if the light is very low, that light is very dim, that is also not appreciable. Okay, so insufficient light causes eye strains and headaches. If the light is not sufficient, then it can cause us eye strain. That means a stain can be put on our eyes, and we can have headaches as well. Too much light, like that of the sun, a powerful lamp, or this laser torch, can injure the retina. That means we should not just fully expose our eyes to that directly. Like, do not look at the sun or a powerful light directly, because it's being said when in the morning, when the sun rises, when the sun is very sharp. Okay, so it's a old proverb that we should not see in the sun directly. We should not see there, because if we see now, we will just see that our retina will get affected by that. Okay, or a laser torch or a powerful lamp, we should not look into them directly. Okay, never rub your eyes. We should never rub our eyes, especially if the particles of dust go into your eyes. And if some particles of dust are going, we should not rub them. Instead, we should just wash your eyes with some clean water. And if there is no improvement after that, then we should go to a doctor, but we should not rub it. Okay, wash your hands frequently with clean water, and we should wash our eyes very frequently, like once or twice or thrice a day, with this clean water, not the dirty water. Also read at a normal distance for vision. Right, it's being said that we should always read from a normal distance, that the distance should not be so like this is a book and I'm just reading it, and it should not be like this. Okay, the distance should be accurate. Do not read by this. I just explained it. You might be aware about balanced diet. All of you must be aware of this thing, balanced diet, a diet that has all the important constituents, components, like the carbohydrate, the carbs should be there, the fats, the vitamins, the proteins, the minerals. Okay, and if our food is deficient in some components, deficient means it's lacking some components, then the eye may also suffer. Okay, because we know about that vitamin A deficiency, lack of vitamin A in food stuff is responsible. Because we know about this vitamin A deficiency that is caused by this is for many eye problems. Okay, lack of this vitamin A, that is responsible for many eye troubles. Most common amongst them is the night blindness. Okay, so the person who is having this vitamin A deficiency, that he will suffer from this night blindness. He will not be able to see in the night. Okay, one should therefore include in the diet components which have vitamin E. Now the thing is, which food will provide us vitamin A? So that is the raw carrots, the broccoli, the green vegetables. Okay, the leafy vegetables, the green, like the spinach or the cod liver oil, they are rich in vitamin A. Eggs, milk, curd, cheese, butter and fruits such as papaya and mango, they are also rich in vitamin A. Now the thing is, visually challenged persons can read and write. Now the thing is, the person who is visually challenged, that means either he just can't see at all or he is having some limited vision problem. Okay, so some persons, including children, can be visually handicapped. Okay, this can be visually means they can't see, they have very limited vision to see things, or the thing is like they might have some limited vision, that means they can see up to a particular distance, that's all. Some persons cannot see at all since birth, and there are some persons who just can't see since they are born, while some persons may lose their eyesight because of a disease, or such persons try to identify things by touching and listening to voices. So what will happen to such persons? They will be able to detect, they will be able to sense those things by just touching and listening to the voices. Okay, because they develop their these senses more sharply. For example, the sense of touch, the sense of hearing, okay, that will be more sharp to them. However, additional resources can enable them to develop their capabilities further. We can use some other resources in which they can be able to just develop this capability more. Now there is what is a Braille system. There is one system, that is a Braille system. The most popular resource for visually challenged person is known as a Braille. It's after the name of a person who just developed it. Okay, Louis Braille, himself a visually challenged person. He was himself a visually challenged person. He developed a system for visually challenged persons and published it in 1921. And the present system was developed in 1932. There is Braille code for common languages, mathematics and scientific notations. Many Indian languages can be read using the Braille system. Braille system has 63 dot patterns or characters, and each character will represent a letter, a combination of letters, a word. Okay, so this is the another thing, like those who can't see, they are having this code system. Okay, dots are arranged in cells of 2 vertically rows and 3 dots each. Okay, the rows are 3. Okay, 3 vertical rows of 3 dots each. They can be dot, they can be these dashes, patterns of dot to represent some English. Where is this? Where some English alphabets are common words as shown below. Just like this. This is the symbol for C. It is a symbol of A. This, and it is a symbol of T. Now these patterns, when embossed on Braille sheets, help visually challenged to recognize the words by touching. So when they just touch these things, they just came to understand the recognition. They came to understand the word just by touching it. To make them easier to touch, the dots are raised slightly. Okay, like this, they must be raised a bit so that the touching will be easier for them. Visually challenged people learn the Braille system by beginning with letter, then special and then letter combinations. Methods depend upon recognition by touching. Each character has to be memorized. Braille text can be produced by hand or by machine. Typewriter like devices in printing machines have now been developed. So this is a system through which the visually challenged persons, they can be able to understand the things and can. Okay, so that's all for today. Now our chapter is complete. Now in the next lecture we will do the rest of the questions.